I strongly see that about him. I think he is her good luck Chuck. So let's see what is going on. So this a lot of strategy behind her end. And I also see Temperance, which is the Sagittarius card. Five Swords in reverse. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Kylie, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. I'm really excited to be doing this. Please like, subscribe. I'm doing couples update. I'm back. I was in the hospital for a situation, but I'm back, and I had stomach issues and it was horror, but I'm just grateful for my health. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for you all. So thank you, all of you who messaged me and sent me DMs and so forth. I'm very grateful. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm doing two major couple updates. I'm doing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I'm also doing Timothée, Chalamet, and Kylie Jenner. I almost said Kylie Minogue, but not Kylie Minogue. Okay, so let's get into it. First, I pre-shuffled the cards for the first couple, which is Travis and Taylor. I'm using Pix de Soleil tarot. I love this tarot deck. You know, I got it on Etsy. It was like $50. I loved it so much I bought it twice because I left one of my decks in New York. But yeah, long story short. Okay, so let's get into it. I pulled the energies. I pre-shuffled the cards, like I said. And so I'm going to start off with Seven of Swords, Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands. So I see this, and I've said this quite often. I definitely sense a lot of strategy from Taylor and her father, because I really believe the mastermind behind a lot of her actions is her dad. I think, and now as she gets older, she's starting to find a voice of her own. But this relationship is very strategic. I saw it as being very superficial in the beginning, but now I think it's become very business. Bottom of the deck is Eight of Pentacles. I see that they're like, okay, you know what? They can get a lot from this. Trust me. I wouldn't say I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I'm not really a fan of any celebrities, unless I personally know them, and I'm not really a fan of them. I just love them as people. But I love a lot of her music. I really, really like Taylor Swift's music. I think she's a genius musically. She's a genius. She's just very, very talented, extremely talented. And I think she's underrated as much as people. I think she's very polarizing because she's very, I don't know, she's just like an all-American, you know, kind of sweetheart. I think some people have issues with America, what America is. I don't want to get too much into it, but lyrically, especially as a former musician, singer, lyrically, composition-wise, you know, production level, she is one of the best. She just is. And a lot of the machine supports this kind of PR situation that's going on. Especially, she signed to Universal, and I strongly believe Universal is a part of the big machine that is big on press, big on paparazzi, big on, you know, so I think she's found a way, and I think that's sometimes the resentment that Joe, her ex, had towards her, is that she's found a way to milk the public for her gain, if that makes any sense, which is not bad. It's just strategy. And Sagittarius, she's a Sagittarius, are very good at that. They're very good at knowing how to milk a public situation for their favor, you know. And some people might think it's manipulative. I don't. I think it's just strategy, you know. But yes, I do see that. Even I said this too about her ex, her last relationship. I think they'd broken up way before, but because of her tour and because of her album that was coming out, they had to keep it quiet until it was the perfect time. And I see a similar thing happening here. I don't think they've broken up, but I think that they are enjoying the accolades, pentacles, that come with being a popular relationship. But I do see them breaking up. I do see, well, publicly breaking up, you know. And I always say this, I've said this from day one. He's going to be like her Good Luck Chuck. If you don't know, Good Luck Chuck, it has Jessica Alba in it. And the guy, I always forget who the guy is. I think it's Dane Cook or something like that. But he is basically all his exes after they're together. Then he ends up meeting they end up meeting somebody and then marrying that person. Yeah, so I strongly see that about him. I think he is her Good Luck Chuck. So let's see what is going on. So this a lot of strategy behind her end. And I also see Temperance, which is the Sagittarius card, 5 Swords in reverse, and King of Wands. So this has allowed him many opportunities that he wouldn't have had. And that's kind of driving his reasoning behind being in this relationship. Yeah, that drives his reason to be in it, because he's like, you know what, if I can't get anything else from this, he's very opportunistic, which is very the shadow side of Libras. You know how I feel about Libras, which is one of my favorite cousins is a Libra, so I don't have anything against Libras. She doesn't have these qualities I'm talking about. But a lot of Libras that I've dated, and you can come for me all you want in the comment section, Libras, I don't care. This is my experience, this is my channel. Create your own channel and you can talk about it. But a lot of Libras that I've dated, because I've dated 3 Libras, I had 2 long-term relationships with Libras, and one was just like not really anything serious, but they can be very opportunistic and kind of like tell you everything you want to hear to make you feel better, but sometimes it's not the truth. They just want you to feel good about yourself at that moment, you know. And I think that's kind of her Achilles tendon, where she will surround herself with people that tell her what she wants to hear. I think she's spoken about that too, actually. She's very Sun and Sagittarius. That's why a lot of Sun and Sagittarius end up in relationships where the person ends up to be like a wolf in sheep's clothing, because they heard everything they need to hear. And, you know, we've all fallen prey to that. I have, definitely. But that's why it's important to look at people's actions. Like, what's the person doing? What's the person contributing to life or to society or to you? You know, how did they show you that they love you? Because somebody can be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a humanitarian, and they don't donate to charity. They don't care about people in their lives, you know. Or somebody could be like, oh my gosh, I have so many friends, and then they don't reach out to their friends when they need them, you know. So a lot of things, a lot of character is built on action, not on words. And she's going to learn that through him. 100%. She's going to learn that through him. So, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say before we move on to the second and last couple. I'm using the Muse Tarot for this one. Beautiful tarot deck. I've had this for a very long time. I've had this deck for like 5 years, almost 5 years. For a very long time. I cannot believe COVID was 4 years ago. Insanity. Almost 5 years ago now. Insane. Anyway, so let's get into this. Shuffle, pull energies. Timothée, Chalamet, and Kylie Jenner. Lots of you have been asking me for an update on them. Okay, so I see, I just got an image of her crying. Oh, that's sad. I remember I did and I don't usually remember a lot of readings that I do. A lot of you have to remind me. But I remember I did a reading on their relationship when they started. And I think like a year and a half ago. And I said that she's going to be more in love with him than he is with her. And I haven't been keeping up with their relationship, but I strongly just feel that she's going to be like his number one, you know. And it's funny because I really struggle. I mean, some signs I just struggle a lot with. Libra's one of them, Sagittarius one of them, and sometimes Capricorns, because I feel like in general, every sun sign has its shadow and its light. But I feel like in general, a lot of Capricorns that I personally know and I've seen on TV or so forth in the public eye have difficulty saying sorry and owning what they did in situations. And I see here, it's very tough for her to be in this relationship. I just see it very strongly. I get that. I see, especially with the Sun, 3 of Cups, and King of Wands. It's almost like she wants something from him that he can't be for her. And the Sun is the card of Leo. A lot of Leos, she's the Sun in Leo. I get along so well with Leos. Leo, if I had a favorite sign, it would be Leo. Because Leos often bring sunlight, bring sunshine, bring happiness. And Capricorns are not the most, in fact, my last relationship was with the Capricorns. I can speak to this I'm not saying all, but when Capricorns are negative, they can be extremely negative, like extremely. So it's the polar opposite of Leos and Capricorns. It's like Leos tend to bring the energy, even though sometimes they fake the energy, Leos, just to get by. Capricorns are the other side, which I find sometimes endearing, which has led me to date a few Capricorns, because I'm like, oh my gosh, so endearing that they're so honest, but sometimes it's like too much. The pessimism and the narcissism. The pessimism and possible narcissism can be, and I'm not talking about those that have evolved. Every sign has its something or few things that it needs to work on. And with Capricorns, I see very strongly, they can tend to be cynical. And it's like a deep cynicism. It's kind of like Scar. I often talk about that. I was talking about that the other day. That I find Leos, which is Leos are lions, to be Mufasa, or Simba, like bright and like cheery. And Capricorns can be like Scarface, like ugh. And there's something beautiful to be said about being in the dark, like I said, it's endearing because you don't have to put up a front, like they accept you for who you are. In fact, my ex that I was with for a very long time, who was a Capricorn, which gives me very similar energy to this. He was just very no filter, and I appreciated that, because I was like, I could just let down my guard, and I didn't have to feel like I had to be happy all the time, it's endearing. But when it becomes every day, then it's a problem, and the person's very cynical, and there's anything is right, So I see that very strongly, is that like he has this darkness about her, and no matter what she does, she can never do right. And I actually really feel for her. I know a lot of people don't like Kylie Jenner. I wouldn't say I'm too crazy about her. I don't know her as a person, but just what her family represents, I'm not too crazy about. But I see her suffering this relationship, suffering very, very deeply, because she can never be good enough for him. And it's going to take a toll, especially because I feel like a lot of Leos, their words of affirmation are very strong to them, or their love language all the time. They like to hear that they're doing well. But, and it's funny because they say Sun and Aquarius are cold. I can be very cold, I'm Sun and Aquarius. But in general, I try to be a warm person. But Capricorns are the real icy people. And he's very icy to her. Very, very icy. So let's see. Let's see the outcome of all of this. Okay. Wow. Okay, so 2 of Wands, the Tower, 10 of Swords. He's going to break up with her very badly. Very badly. We're going to hear about it soon. I get August. We are in August right now. We are in Leo season. But if it's not August of this year, it's next year. I get August very prominently. And he's going to break up with her very badly. Like be out with another woman. This reminds me of my Capricorn ex. They can be very vicious with their words, very vicious. And I'm only talking about this because it relates to this situation, that I see him being very cruel with his words to her. And I feel for her, actually. I feel very deeply for her. But anyway, so I love you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video if you liked it. And yeah, take care.